Am I the a-hole for treating my daughter-in-law like a child when she was acting like one? My son and his wife have been staying with us for about a month now while they prepare to move into a new place in May. My wife and I enjoy having them with us, and for the most part my daughter-in-law is lovely, but she is very messy. I'm retired from the army and I have always run my house to a certain set of standards, and I expect them to be followed even by guests. My son has often described his wife as someone who prefers clutter, and she generally likes to have things where she can see them. But after I voiced my displeasure over the clutter in the guest bedroom they are presiding in, as well as in the guest bath they use every day, she did begin to decrease this amount of clutter, but not to the standards I would like in my home. My Dill still leaves her makeup out in the bathroom until she gets home in afternoons because she runs out of time in the mornings to put them up. To her credit, she does clean everything once she gets home, but I don't appreciate having to stare at the mess for hours until she does get home. I tried handling privately with my son in hopes he could talk to her, and while he did agree, he mostly made excuses about her behavior, equating it to an unstable home life growing up with incompetent parents and in the foster system towards her later teen years. I admit she still is quite young at 20, but my kids knew how to clean up after themselves before they were out of elementary school. My frustrations over the situation grew to head one day when yet again she left out makeup in the bathroom, and in response I took a trash bag and placed all the makeup and everything underneath the sink that was hers as well, and then in the guest bedroom every piece of clothing she owned, etc. I had no intention of actually throwing her belongings in the trash, but I wanted to show how serious I was on the matter, and I thought maybe handling it how I would have handled a teenager would have given her a bit of a wake-up call, since she had seemed to miss out on it in her childhood. My Dill came home before my son, and when she discovered her things in the trash bags outside of the front door I could tell she was rather shell-shocked. I didn't yell, but I was stern when I explained that her behavior had been very disrespectful, and if it continued she would have to leave my house. My Dill didn't say much and just looked at me with wide eyes the whole time, and then when I was done she apologized and took all of her things back inside the room she was staying in. I could hear her crying, which seemed to me to be dramatic, and when my son got home he apologized for Dill's messiness but said that the way I handled the situation was too far. I told him it was my house, my rules. Now my Dill has been keeping all of her things in her car and won't even place them in the house at all. She has also become very reserved when I am around, but is completely fine around my daughters and wife. The mess stopped, but now there is an awkwardness in the house.